Hello, friends. Welcome to my extremely correct and definitive Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc tier list of all the characters that you see here on this list. I have played this game and I've beaten it back in December, and I have caught up. I've rewatched videos that showcased all the free time events, and I've rewatched an entire playthrough of the game so I can be as thorough as possible with ranking these characters. It's been a while since I even ranked the characters on a tier list, and some have definitely changed from the last time I played the game. So I think I'm the only person allowed in the world to be able to do this clearly, because I research. I done my work. So that's fun. We're not gonna go in any particular order. I guess we're just gonna go in the order of what they have here on the list, so it makes sense. I guess. Another disclaimer: there is going to be a lot of spoilers in this video. If you do not enjoy spoilers, please do not watch this. Come back when you beat the game and stuff. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Danganronpa videos are quite notorious for having tons of spoilers for the game, and sometimes other games, in their comment sections. And I have done a great number of deals to avoid them all, because I haven't finished V3 yet. So, and God knows how many times I managed to avoid spoilers for that game. So, it's honestly astonishing. And also, if I accidentally say something that is not go with canon, oops, sorry, I forgot. Another thing is that this video is inspired by this person's Danganronpa videos. This person's this one, Dmitry Kasanovich. Check out their stuff. They're pretty cool. I enjoy them. Anyway, let's finally get this tier list started with Leon. Leon sucks. I don't like him. He's fine, actually. It's been like a while since I had to actually think about him, because he is a character. Leon is the ultimate baseball star who does not like playing baseball. So that's fun, don't you think? He instead wants to be a musician and hitting up the ladies, which basically, with his look and his goals, just reminds me of Sylvain from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And Sylvain is a fuckboy, therefore he is also a fuckboy, but in a more sensitive way, I feel. He's very aggressive also. He's a very aggressive person. He makes fun of like Hifumi being fat a lot in the first investigation, which, you know, is fair. He is fat, but he's also, from what I recall, he is the only one in the game to actually, or one of the only few in the game to actually make fun of Hifumi for his weight. The other one being Celeste, from what I recall. And, you know, I'm not going to say I didn't also do that when I played the game. But in hindsight, that's not cool, dude. You have your very own insecurities of your own, of your baseball days, of how you had to shave your fucking head every time you had to play a game for no reason. I don't know why they had to make you do that. But, and also, you killed Sayaka. You managed to kill off someone that basically the game forced you to like. I'll get to her way later, as you can see in this tier list. Overall, Leon, I'm not sure. You're fine. You're a C tier character, honestly. You were bright and shining for the time you had, but your personality does not make me like you that much more. Sorry. Chihiro Fujisaki. Ah, you know, this after all this time, when I first played this game, when I found out Chihiro died, when Chihiro's death was revealed to me, I was totally silent for 8 minutes straight. Now that might not seem like a lot, but in my mind, that felt like years because I maxed out Chihiro's report card in just that chapter alone, or at least part of it, because I think I also did her in chapter 1 once as well. But Chihiro is an amazing character. I love them to pieces. I think they're precious. I think they're just an amazing character, an amazing display of sensitive but willing characters. I think their whole entire arc it's very inspiring in a way, and Chihiro is extremely precious, and I love them. I don't think there's a single flaw about Chihiro that I dislike, which says a lot. Actually, it says a whole lot. Just she's awesome. They're awesome. I use both of them. I use both pronouns. I use all of them, to be completely honest. Mondo Owada. Oh man. I said when Chihiro died that I would never forgive whoever killed Chihiro. And when I found out Mondo was the murderer, I took it back. I enjoy Mondo. I really do. I think he's a very hard-ass, tough-ass character. But he is one of those characters that have a soft side to him. I do appreciate his backstory about with his brother and the Crazy Diamond gang he leads, and how he became the leader and became the strongest biker gang in all of Japan. I think that's cool. I think that's a really awesome arc. Or not an arc, but a story. It makes you feel for the character. It gives reasoning behind why he makes promises. He makes promises as a man. It explains that literally in the game. But I always appreciated Mondo because just straight up hard-ass characters I don't enjoy very much. And Mondo is not that. He has a soft side. He has, it makes sense why he killed Chihiro. In a moment of weakness, he felt he was jealous and killed Chihiro, but still made the promise to protect their secret by putting them in the girls' room, which gave a couple points because it boosted him up a couple of picks because, even after he did something wrong, he still carried out his wish or his promise at the end of the day, and took the execution like a champ, and also turned into butter because he did, I guess. Mondo is a very good character. I wouldn't say he's the best because he still has that, really hard, annoying characteristic of being a hard ass at first that doesn't make him S tier. But he's A tier. I also do enjoy how he, doesn't think this whole shit is a game like some fuck ass, dumbass, stupid ass character coming up. I'll get to him later. Kiyotaka Ishimaru. Oh, this guy. I didn't like him at first. I'm not gonna lie. I did not like him. The ultimate moral compass to me sounded like a character that was just gonna be annoying and like constantly berating at you for not staying in line. But Kiyotaka isn't that. He doesn't berate. He encourages. He makes sure he was basically the high spirits without realistically being that on purpose. He was making sure everyone was in line. He was making sure nobody was like sad in his ways, and While he didn't display that in chapter 3, he did have a very good arc of his own where he needed to find himself and, you know, take things like a man and get over some sadnesses he had, which is why he turned into Kiamando or whatever it was, which was really funny more than anything, to be honest. And also his backstory is very nice, how he lives in a lower class household and, you know, had to get the best grades and just fend for himself a lot because he had a poor family. Very, 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 very touching backstory. It explains why he is the way he is, and he has some very funny lines. His forget beam always gets me. His whole relationship with Mondo is also very nice as well. It showcases the fact that he's also a human that can have friends and he isn't just like a hard ass on rules. To be honest, Taka is also going to be an S tier character just for that. Ifumi Yamada. What can I say about this guy? This guy, I dreaded this guy when I first played the game. In fact, I used to skip his lines because I hated him that much. Nowadays, he isn't a terrible character. He's still bad. He's not the worst character in this game for me. But he isn't the worst. He has some funny lines. He has a funny personality. His whole shtick with alter ego is creepy and annoying. And while I do get that, like, no one ever really talks to him that way, and that's why he yearns for that kind of stuff, it's still very annoying and creepy in the way he does it. And his whole plan to murder Taka because of it is like, why? Seriously? It's just annoying, I think. And to be honest, Celeste was probably gonna rat him out anyways if he didn't die. So, what was realistically the point? Other than that, he is just fine. He's not great. I still wouldn't want to talk to him in any realistic way, but you know, he has some good lines. He's fine. He's whatever. He's another C tier for me. Definitely a lot. I'm definitely being generous here. Celestia Ludenberg. Celestia Ludenberg. What a fucking character this guy is. This girl is fucking insane. And I love her for that. S tier. Celestia is one of those characters that is a very, to me, it's a very hit or miss. You either really love her or you really don't like her. I don't see a middle point with this, with Celestia, because she's a very interesting character. She starts off very sweet, very kind, very almost direct for a lot of chapter 1. She's basically the character that kind of sets in the mood of the fact that, like, people are going to kill each other. This isn't like a dream. She's the one that, like, drills it into everyone's heads that, like, hey, this is real. We are going to die. But also we should live here because there's a lot of cool things and we have basically free householding. And it's a very back and forth thing with her. She knows people are going to die here, but she also wants to live here just normally. I think her motive, I think the reason she kills is fucking dumb. It fits in with her character, but, like, doing it for money is so classic and so annoying that it almost entirely works for her, considering she's also a gambler, which is funny, to be honest. Her execution is also one of my favorites in the entire series. I still haven't beaten V3, so that could change, but of how poetic it is that she wanted to be such a unique character and, like, such a unique person, that she was almost going to die from a very unique way and then ended up dying to the most common way to die in the world, which is a vehicle accident. I think that is very poetic and very, very cool. Her personality switch, like the way she gets angry at Afumi, brings a lot more depth to her as well. You know, at first when she yells at Hifumi for not getting the right tea, it shows that she's also breaking down from being in here too long. Like everyone else, like she can't keep her composure, she can't keep her character she's trying to play too long. And her complete breakdown in the trial is also very, very well done. And I think everything about Celestia is great. It's very great. Yeah. Pretty great. I like her. Cool. Sakura Ogami. I was very idiotic to think that there was nothing with Sakura because I was focusing on other characters at the time, and only now do I see the vision with Sakura. Sakura is one of those characters that is like, what the fuck? You're scary, and then within 5 seconds you're like, wait, you're the best character in this game also. And I enjoy that. You can always rule her out as a murderer for no real reason, just because she, despite her goal and wishes to take over her dojo and her goal to get stronger, beat her father, beat her, anyone who stands in her way and everything, and how aggressive she can be, especially at the end of chapter 3 where she fights Monokuma. She is very, very sweet, regardless of all of that. And how she treats Hina, and how she, despite being the mastermind or the traitor or whatever, she's still a friend to everybody and puts that in front of her deal. And her sacrifice, her suicide, was very well done, I think. Extremely well done. Very overcomplicated as well. It really didn't need to be that complicated at all, but her death was, as they say, it goes hard for body discovery. And she's very awesome. She's very sweet. She's very nice. And I enjoy her. I enjoy her a lot. As to say S tier, I don't think she's S tier. Personally, I think she does take some getting used to, or takes some time building up to what really makes her shine. At least that's how I feel. I feel like in the first 2 chapters, or at least in the first one, and half of the second one, she doesn't showcase all too much. You have to go into a report card for that to really happen, and I think she really starts to shine after Chihiro is discovered dead. And because of that, I think that's kind of what made me not like Sakura at first anyways, because she took, at least to me, a little bit too long. So she's going to go in A tier, but I feel like she was showcased better at the start, then she would easily be S tier. But we have a lot of S tier characters already, so I guess this works out. Mukuro Ikusaba. I don't know what to think of you. She's a character that we don't even know about until literally she's already dead. Both in the trickster way and the actual way. I'm not sure what to say. She is a character that doesn't talk, or doesn't talk as herself, rather. But being an F tier isn't a good place to put her, because that means I just straight outright hate her. I will say her soldier shtick is actually pretty interesting, and it would be cool to see how that plays out as an actual character, other than just, oh, I'm secretly not Junko, lol. But she's a D tier. I don't hate her. It's just that there's you don't spend the game with her at all. You don't like know what she's up to until like 3 photos or some shit like that. Genocide Jill. Genocide Jill. Now, I know her whole thing is that she's a murderous fiend and that like she's a fucking psychopath. But what the fuck? She's really interesting in the way that like doesn't make sense. Like normally if I meet a murderous fiend who kills men with scissors because she fetishizes gay people, that I would run away. I would like call the police. But since I'm locked in a school, I can't exactly do that. So I'm going to deal with her. And she becomes this character that's like, that livens up the scenario in a terrible way that it's almost cool. And that's why, for no other real reason, I'm putting her in B tier. Because she's annoying, but she makes things fun in some way. And to be honest, she's better than that fuck-ass Toko anyways. Makoto Naegi. I don't know where to place him. Except I do, because normally in these games I don't rank the protagonist because usually they're boring as all fuck, and also they're just a guy, and it wouldn't really make sense to rank the protagonists because even if there was character development, you're still playing as the guy anyways. So that's just my take on it. I think Makoto is also a B tier. He's not bad, but he's just a guy. He's just a dude. He's definitely better in the later games. And by that I mean 1, because he hasn't appeared in V3, if he appears in V3, and if he appears in Ultra Despair Girls. But yeah, Makoto, you're just a dude. Kyoko Kirigiri. What an interesting character you are, Kyoko Kirigiri. You are so mysterious, and you are very brooding and dark, and you're not there for half the chapter, every chapter. So, that's an exaggeration, obviously. But when you are there, you're great. You're amazing. You're really cool. You're A tier. That's controversial because I think everyone I ever knew basically puts her at S tier. I'm gonna say why. And it's gonna be such a childish reason. But I want her to be on screen more. The main course of this is in Chapter 4, where the game forces you to not tell Kyoko about the fact that you saw Sakura beating the shit out of Monokuma. And the fact that she basically like avoids you and becomes the pettiest person on planet Earth for that little bit, which makes sense in sense of the game, but it's just also annoying because I want to be able to talk with her, and the only real chance you have to do that in depth is Chapter 6, and that's not enough for me. When she is on screen, when she is talking, she's incredible. She has her jabs towards characters, and she's very quick and very interesting with her personality. And that's great. That is amazing. I think... And of course with her father dying as well. And her like, desire to... I wouldn't say desire, but like her what's the word I'm looking for? Her thing with her father. That's like a very interesting part, but she's not there a lot of the time, and maybe I'm misremembering it wrong. Maybe she is there a lot of the time, but to me it didn't seem like she was. But she's still a great character. I just wish she was there more. Byakuya Togami. Oh. Oh my god, I've seen so many people rank this fucker as S or A tier. I can't see that for a second. He's... Oh my god. I'm gonna wait until I explain to put him on a tier, because if I put him on a tier I'm going to put him on right away, people are going to be mad. I don't like Byakuya. I don't like him, at least in Trigger Happy Havoc. I'm not gonna say I don't. I'm not gonna say that because like he barely exists in 2 or 3 or UDG or whatever. But I don't like Byakuya, and there's many reasons why. First of all, he's a prick. He is a condescending piece of shit prick. That is annoying. Like 8 of my friends died basically in front of me, and you're gonna be like, well, that's just part of the game. Shut up before you become the 9th person. You become the 9th man. I'm not gonna deal with you right now. Fuck you. And another thing, he thinks this shit's just a game. This thing's just a life or death game. And he has no empathy towards like human beings at all. It's... oh my god. And he strung up Chihiro's body. Yes, it was for like a plot device thing to reveal Genocide Jill to the world and everything. It's like, oh wow. It was for a reason, but it was still so shitty. And he's also an extreme hypocrite, especially in the later chapters. In chapter 2, he picks up Chihiro, basically strings them up to make it look like Genocide Jill did it. But in chapter 4, when Sakura is found dead, he's like, ugh, who would want to touch a filthy dead body? Yuck. Disgusting. Fuck you. I'm gonna spit on you. Yeah. He's... And also, when... before you find Alter Ego, he's like, oh, we are not friends. We are not co-workers. We are not detectives together. I am going to purposely leave myself out of everything. And when you find Alter Ego, he's like, why didn't you tell me about this? We're all a team. We should do this together. We should find this mastermind. I'm including myself. Why didn't you include me? Byakuya time and time again proves why he's just an annoying dumbass. And I wanted nothing more than his downfall in this game. And even on a rewatch of playthrough and of the report cards, it just proven to me that I just don't... I don't like it. I get why people like him. I'm not gonna... I said before that I don't get why, but that is a lie. I do get why people like it the way he is. I do understand. And I will admit, he has some funny quips to Toko and like other people here and there. But it's not very much. Byakuya, who I lovingly call Bakugan, by the way. Lovingly, I say that. He is... Byakuya, I'm sorry, man. You're going in D tier, not F tier, because you're not the worst character. That worst character is Toko. Toko Fukawa. You're F tier. And oh my god, Toko Fukawa, Toko Fukawa. What the hell? What the hell? This has been such a ride. This character is such a ride for me because in Ultra Despair Girls, she is obviously one of the main characters. And I'm not very far in so I'm not going to say too much. But she's actually better in just that game than she is here. Because in this game, she's so, like, secluded and scared of everything. It's like, oh, you must hate me. You must think I'm a worthless, trashy fuckface. And, like, every time you say that, I'm like, yes. Yeah, you are. Because you do nothing. You follow Byakuya around. you thirst for him so much, and Jill is such a better character just being Jill than Toko is being Toko. Even with her report card that's supposed to make me feel bad for her, it doesn't work. It does not work. Yeah, I can't find like a redeeming quality about Toko in this game. I just have a blinding hatred for her. The same thing goes for Yasuhiro Hagakure, but not by much. I don't have such a blinding hatred for Yasuhiro, but I will say that he is probably the least progressive person of all fucking time. And it's just a throwaway line, but when Toko mentions having two mothers, and Yasuhiro's like, "Whoa, that's seriously messed up. What the fuck? Fuck you." And also calls Sakura an ogre, which is really fucked up. And she's just a dumbass. He's such a shady alleyway person that doesn't like understand anything, and also just like hates the concept of progressiveness. And I will say, one quality he does have is that he does, in Chapter 3, when Taka is depressed, he does try to liven him up a little, but like with consistent failure. That's like a neat thing about him that is never displayed anywhere else. He's also on the run from the FBI, and I feel like he would kidnap me to try to sell my kidneys. And Yasuhiro, I'm sorry, dude. Go away. Go away. I'm sorry. Aoi Asahina, or just Hina. What a mess of a character you are, and I love you for it. A tier. Hina is the other signature dumbass character, but in a better way than Yasuhiro. Much better way. Her relationship with Sakura is very nice. Her liveliness in the previous chapters and in her report card as well is amazing. She is a lot more serious after Sakura's death, which makes sense. Sakura was basically her ride or die, her best friend through and through. And during that chapter and after it, she became a lot more of a serious character, but still had some funny quips. I enjoy Hina a lot. Hina has that charm to me that not a lot of other people have in this game. I do enjoy, characters like her. She's a bit dumb, but she's funny dumb. She understands why she's there. She knows why she goes along with things that are happening. And unlike Hiro, the other dumbass character, she actually is competent and probably gives a shit. And also, she likes donuts. I like donuts. That's good. And also, people ship her with Sakura a bunch, and I totally see why. I get it. She's an A-tier character, not much to say. Now, there's two Junkos here, but I don't know which is which. I think this one is supposed to be, like, the villain Junko. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and put her on B tier. And the reason I'm putting her on B tier is because Junko as a villain is very interesting. She's very cool. Her personality switches give her a lot more depth to the character. And I feel like it was a lot of needed things, because otherwise I feel like she would just exactly be like, it would just be another Celestia situation where like the whole thing just seemed to be an act the whole time, even though it wasn't actually Junko being Junko in school. Junko is a very, very, very interesting character. Her plan is so evil and so just cruel that it's almost like hypnotizing in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it in a way that makes sense, but I don't think it's going well. Junko, she's a B character, yeah. Like the villain Junko. She's great. She's a good villain. It's really hard for me to describe Junko, so I'm just gonna like not do it because I don't think I'm making sense anymore. Sayaka Maizono, the first victim in the game. Sayaka is a character that the game forces you to spend 90% of her entire story with, and because of that, she's just that generic. She's a B tier. She's just that generic girl that follows you around, and like, oh, we're high school buddies. Where we were, I guess, I suppose. I'm like a really popular pop star, and I'm also really evil. I want to kill not you, but someone so that you can die. Fuck you. Yeah. There's nothing really that strikes out to Sayaka for me other than the fact that, like, her breaking down when the motive was dropped was it was sad. The fact that her whole psychic thing is also pretty funny. And, that one line that just says chili oil. I think I still have that screenshot on my computer. So yeah. She's a B tier. Nothing too crazy about her. Now, the regular Junko, the Junko that you meet in the game properly, she is an S tier. She is a very easy S tier, I think, because I don't know, she's such, like, she was also very mesmerizing to me in the way that she acted. She acted a lot like, you know, the generic bitchy, oh, I'm so fabulous girl. But it was also not as annoying. Every single line of her I really enjoyed. I enjoyed having her around. She was a very funny Junko, and that's really it. There's not much I can really say about her because she was there for so little. But, like, she's like the embodiment of the phrase, we're here for a good time, not a long time. And she gave a good time. I love her sprites. I love her personality. I think it's really sweet. I think it's really nice. It's funny. Well, there we go. This is a complete, definitive Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc tier list. I might do this again for the other games. Not for a little bit, though. At least not right away. Maybe right away for 2, but not right away for the other games since I haven't finished them. But, yeah. If you disagree, I'm sorry. If you agree, cool. But don't flame me in the comments if you watch this at all. If you care enough. If you do flame me, I hate you. And, but if you do have any questions, or, like, thoughts you want to put in your own stuff, or, like, disagreements, you can leave that in. Just don't be, like, toxic about it. Come on, get it together. Okay, goodbye.